Okay, today we are playing a game on Hanamura. We are playing Reinhardt on defense and Zenyatta on attack. The average SR of this game was 2,093, and our current team composition is Reinhardt, D.Va, Pharah, Soldier, Lucio, Mercy. So, the most average team comp ever recorded, basically. Wholly uninteresting. So keep your eye on D.Va, because D.Va's up to something right now. I don't know what D.Va's up to, but she certainly seems like she has a plan, so I don't think it goes quite according to plan for her, but she has a plan, so, you know. Mercy's gone up there to hang out with her for a little while. Wouldn't recommend that one. Kind of seems a little spooky, but whatever. So, Hanzo just tried to throw his skill through the doorway. We were wholly unimpressed by his skill. Lucio's bumped us out here, but fortunately the enemy team is distracted by the D.Va up there, so we get to just jump back in. Nobody suspects a thing. So D.Va's over there now.
Coming back to us.
Rather than shift to safety, because, like, alright, so she's up there. Like, what's she really going to accomplish, right? Not very much. But she could have at least left, right? She could have just shifted back over through the doorway and be safe. No, she shifted off, like, over in this direction instead. So, now D.Va's going to die. And this is not exactly good news. Lucio also gets hooked right there. This is pre-nerf Roadhog, by the way, so he's just bad. Is what happened right there. So D.Va's now dead, because D.Va's been performing an illegal maneuver this entire time. I don't know what her angle was. She certainly looked like she had a plan, but I don't know what it was. So we're letting our shield regenerate right now. We're letting it regenerate up to full. Like, they're starting to come through the doorway right now. By the time we get over here, they're already starting to, like, get through the doorway. And Lucio's already behind us. This is going to be important. If you know they're coming through the doorway, it's more important to just come and stand in the doorway to stop them, rather than letting it regenerate up to full. Like, you could have come and stood over here at, like, 1,500, 1,600. And that would be, like, just as good. But now they're starting to, like, get through the choke point. So you don't need to let it regenerate up to full if they're starting to come through. Then you just come and stand in the way. So, we get booped out by Lucio. Now we're not where we want to be. We are now actually in their backline. Here's Hanzo. There's Lucio. Zenyatta's like 3 feet to our right. So, what I would do right now is I would just... This is like an awkward time to pause, so there we go. So, what I would do right now, because we start doing the kiting retreat. The thing is, we're not really doing the kiting retreat away from anything. It's 2 supports, and like Hanzo isn't even doing anything right now. So, what I would do is either... Well, what I would do is I would just turn around and charge back through the doorway. And probably pin somebody on the way through, since they're all coming through right now. Maybe one of their backline, if we just do it immediately. Because the thing is, basically, we don't want to be out here. We want to be back over with our team, because we're playing Reinhardt. So just, like, turn around, charge back. You'll probably pin somebody going back through. But more importantly, you'll just be with your team. And then you can start protecting your team again, you know. Playing Reinhardt, basically. Or, other play... Just start swinging into these people, because, like, it's Hanzo, Zenyatta, and Lucio, which is not exactly the scariest thing in the world. So either start swinging into them over here, or just charge backwards, basically. Instead, we do the kiting retreat backwards away from not very much, and we decide that we want to pin this Reinhardt. Now, the thing is, right, this Reinhardt has not used his charge. They just walked through that doorway. He turns around, he sees us, he countercharges us. We're in the building, our team can't see us, so he just ends up killing us. It's not the kind of pin you want to try and go for, because if he countercharges you, you are 100% dead. Because your team won't be able to help you at all. When you countercharge the enemy team's Reinhardt, you don't really want to do it where in a position... You want to do it as close to your team as possible, so that they can help you, and they can't help, like, him. Basically. Instead, we do it in, like, the room out of the way, and we just end up getting killed. So, I would have just charged back immediately after getting booped out the doorway. Now, it would have been much more helpful if our D.Va hadn't just died before they started coming through the doorway, but whatever, you know, you can't control your team as much as we wish we could. So, we jump down here a little bit early, because we see stuff coming through the doorway, but they're not actually coming through the doorway. Like, wait until you know somebody's actually coming through the doorway, because it turns out they aren't actually coming up this way, they're going up that way. Now, that being said, though, we know that most of them are starting to come up this way. We just saw Zenyatta start going this way. Bear that in mind, it's going to come up later. So a lot of them are coming top left, though, so now we have to come back up here. Again, we jumped down here a little bit too early. You don't want to, like, do that and then find out, like, their whole team is starting to come up this way, because then you're just not in position. Like, wait, make sure they're coming through that way first, basically. So, if we were a little bit more ready for this Reinhardt to start coming up the doorway, we could have pinned him right there, because that's pretty textbook. Like, if you can pin a Reinhardt against this back wall, that's pretty sick, because then they die, usually, and you just get to walk back out to safety. So that's like, if we're a little bit more ready for him to come up this way, that's like a good punishing him for overextending maneuver. But we weren't really expecting him to come up that suddenly. He's dead now, all the same. So, Mercy can't get up right now, by the way, she's communicating to us, but that's not really our thing, let somebody else go over there. So, we killed their Reinhardt, that's great. Our diva has, however, died. Now, so, also, like, during this whole period right here, you know, just, like, hold your shield up, really, in the doorway. Like, when Reinhardt's dead, just, like, hold your shield up and let your team start shooting down here. And then if they start overstepping, then you can walk in and start swinging, because just, like, yeah, you know, just, like, walk at them. You're never gonna catch them. Just, like, block for your team, basically. And if they start coming back in, then you start swinging at them. So, what's happening now, though, is back out here, Diva's just gotten killed below us. Also, look at all that skill over there. What a skillful hero. So, this is happening. Here's Zenyatta again. And Roadhog's with him. So, Roadhog, a lot of things just suddenly started happening, right? So, Zenyatta and Roadhog went this way. And if you think about it, we only ever saw 3 people up there, didn't we? We only ever saw Reinhardt, Lucio, and Soldier. Hansa was busy going over here for the flanking dragon, and Zenyatta and Roadhog had some sick plays in mind as well. So, if we knew all of this was happening over here, I mean, we knew Zenyatta wasn't there, because we actually saw Zenyatta go this way. So, if we knew that, like, this business was going to be happening, we could have just immediately killed those 3 people up there with our numbers advantage, but we didn't really know that was happening. So now all of this awkwardness is happening instead. So you can try and they're layering their support ultimates right now as well, which is a fantastic use of company resources. So you can try and pin somebody right now, because here's the thing, this Roadhog's going to start bullying you. Here's the thing as well, though. How would this game be affected if this was on the most recent patch? This Roadhog wouldn't exist. He wouldn't be here right now. Because Roadhog's not very good anymore. Apparently his win ratio, like, across all ranks has dropped below 50% now, so... Whereas he used to be pretty high, pretty up there. So, right now you could try and pin somebody. If you can try and, like, pin away Transcendence when that's happening, that can sometimes be pretty good. Because this guy's just going to walk through your shield and start bullying you around, so that's probably a better use of your time than anything else. But this is not a situation we would actually find ourselves in very frequently anymore. Even if the Roadhog was there, nowadays we might just be like, oh, whatever, you know, he's coming through with his Nerf gun. So, Soldier's using Tac Visor. He pushed Q right as we pushed Shift, trying to pin Roadhog, so that's just unfortunate timing, because we would like to be blocking that, obviously, but he did it right as we did that, so. Soldier's about to be really upset. Oh, no, oh, God, oh, I just couldn't figure it out. So, now... Reinhardt's over there. Reinhardt just took down his shield and started walking at us. What does that mean? Reinhardt's about to use Earth Shatter. Reinhardt just used Earth Shatter. It's been, like, a while. We're 3.5 minutes into this game. Yeah. So, I'm bad at math, alright? Sometimes I have to think about numbers. Like, the Reinhardt's got his Earth Shatter. We've almost got our Earth Shatter, so he's, like, definitely got his Earth Shatter. So we should be more ready for that to happen. But we weren't. We got taken by surprise. And then we just kind of, like, don't know what we're doing anymore after that point. So, like, he's clearly getting in position to do that. Then we get taken by surprise. We get booped over here as well by Lucio right as that's happening. So it's all very awkward. We just try and pin somebody. The thing is, we're not in a position to be doing that. You just hold, like, you either turn around and start trying to kill that Reinhardt, or you just keep blocking at their team rather than doing this, because this is the kind of charge that just gets you killed. And it does indeed get us killed. And this is a really shitty time to die, because we do have Earth Shatter. Now, Mercy comes in and reses us anyway, so it's okay. Roadhog just did something that we're gonna go back and watch in slow motion. Because I do so like to focus on people's shame. I fucking love Overwatch. Alright, so we've got Earth Shatter right now. Enemy team's pretty spread out right now, so there's not too much for us to do. We instead just take our hammer down and start swinging at the Zenyatta. We end up not getting all of the swings on him, and he ends up getting away. This is, like, fix Reinhardt's hit detection, because I'm pretty sure he should have gotten hit by the other one, but yeah. There's a thing later where I was really like, please fix Reinhardt, but we'll see that later. So, we use Earth Shatter, we get a bunch of people, we got their supports. Good times. Got their Reinhardt, got Lucio. We got Zenyatta as well, I think, but he, like, fell off this way, so we didn't get to do anything with that one. He's using the dragon again. We've lost a bunch of, like, he's actually killed, like, 3 people, 2 of which are our support, so this is actually super inconvenient for us right now. However, they have only got Zenyatta currently alive, and God knows where he is, actually. Maybe Zenyatta isn't actually still alive anymore, because we haven't seen him in a really long time. Yep, just try and pin him. We pinned him a little bit too late, so we didn't actually pin him. You're not allowed to do that one anymore. You're too low HP to do that one. As soon as he gets around that corner, you are no longer allowed to try and go in and kill him, because he's just going to left-click you and kill you, which is exactly what happened. Granted, these days, you just wouldn't see Roadhog, so probably doesn't matter, but, you know. So, we're back out here now. Enemy team sort of regrouping again. Reinhardt pinned right there. Rather than Fire Strike, just charge that guy, because you know exactly where he's going to end up at that point, because there's no way he can, like, pivot. Like, you can't turn 45 degrees suddenly. You can just charge him and pin him into the wall immediately afterwards, rather than Fire Striking him. So he Earth Shatters again, and we block it mostly by accident, because we probably don't expect him to have it back up that quickly. So, great. However, we're then like, sick, did it. Fuck, like 7 other ultimates are happening over here. We got Reza though! Great, awesome, now we get to start fighting again. Look at all the shit currently happening right here. All we can really do is hold our shield up and hope for the best, basically, in that position. And then we're fucked, basically. Like, they use all of their ultimates and we don't have any they used every single ultimate, and we just didn't have enough ultimates to fend them off with, because they used all of them. Some of them even got to ult twice during the same fight. And we had res, but nothing to actually swing it back around with. Overwatch is that kind of game where if they just come at you with 5 ultimates and you've got 1 ultimate or 2 ultimates, you probably lose the fight. So we get to come back out and try again. It's not looking good, and they immediately start bullying us. Yeah, that's what you expect to happen. D.Va's ult, pretty terrible, because it got wedged on the side, but it still killed Lucio, so it's me shown. Hanzo's ulting again, and he's killed 2 people with it. Hanzo has not died at any point during this, so he's just straight up ulted like 3 times during the same fight. Isn't that absolutely incredible? This is the part where we start like, yo, D.Va, do you think you could, like, kill the Hanzo as is your job, because he's just sitting over there like fucking us right now? And we haven't got anyone else that can really deal with Hanzo that well. So we're coming back out again for round 3. We've managed to build up Earth Shatter. We're not really in a great position to use it, and he just Earth Shatters us again. So things feeling pretty bad right now. Everyone was super spread out as well, so like, rather than going around swinging, it's better to try and, like, block and line. Soldier's using Tac Visor for the 2nd time now as well, so this is a real good 2 CP fight happening right now. Absolutely textbook. Rather than going around trying to swing at people, like, just blocking and trying to line up an Earth Shatter is usually a better use of your time. You probably weren't going to find a really good Earth Shatter right there, though, based on where everybody was, so, you know. So now we're coming back out for round 4. We line up the Earth Shatter. Don't jump before you do it. Like, just in general, don't jump before you Earth Shatter, because that actually gives Zenyatta just enough time to use Transcendence before we pin him. Before we knock him down, rather. And then, I've been in this position where you just end up... Things... oh no, I don't belong here. Things line up just in such a way. But yeah, don't jump before you ult. You just give people more warning, and it did actually make a difference right there. So, you know, sometimes, like, it lines up just like so, and now we're where we don't want to be, and, we're like, oh shit. You know, I've been there. I've been the Reinhardt that charges, and I've been like, oh god, why did this happen? My favorite is, the ledge on Dorado, you know, on the street going into the church. There's a certain angle where if you try and pin somebody into the staircase, near the staircase, going up into the church, you're like pinning them into the wall, but the game can't register that you're doing it, so you just sort of charge them into the corner for a while, and then it just lets them go, because it can't actually register that you've pinned them. That's my favorite one. I love that. So anyway, fight's still happening, still, you know, we're playing 2 CP right now, so we've been fighting this entire time. That's kind of like, you know, I think Horizon is a really bad map for a lot of reasons. But at least this doesn't usually seem to happen on Horizon, where you're just fighting for like 4 minutes straight. However, I do think Horizon is trash for other reasons. But at least this nonsense doesn't happen, where you have like people ulting like 4 times during one fight, because the fights just don't last that long. And so far, anyway. You know, the map didn't come out that long ago. God, I hate Horizon so fucking much. Oh my, it's such a terrible map. You thought 2CP was bad. Oh. You haven't seen Horizon yet. Oh god. Oh god, I hate it. And like the one cool thing about it you never see, because the zero gravity area is so out of the way, you never fight over there, ever. And the rest of the map, oh god, I hate Horizon so much. Anyway, we're not on Horizon right now, we're on Hanamura. Which is not exactly a beloved map, but here we are.
I gotta take it down.
So, Hanzo's just ulted again, you know. We're getting pretty fucking tired at this point, so not a good pin, because we've ended up not very out of the way right now, so we end up taking a bunch of damage. So when Lucio drops the beat right here, just go around that corner and start hitting that dude, because you got sound barrier HP on you right now. You can probably pin that guy, because he's probably not expecting you to just come around the corner and try and pin him. Instead, we wait for him to come back out here, and we, like, try to pin him right there. Like, try and block Lucio getting shot with your shield first. Like, it's gonna be awkward to angle it, I know, but, like, there's no way pinning saves him. You maybe save him with the shield. Again, though, we wouldn't ever be in this position again from now on, really, so, you know. Some people still pick Roadhog, but he's pretty, you know, don't really have to worry about it that much. So instead, we end up pinning him all the way over here. We've taken a bunch of damage while doing that. It wasn't great. It wasn't good times. So our team have managed to get back out again, because we have a bunch of fast stalling heroes. So, you know, McCree just tried to use High Noon and then died instantaneously, as you would expect to happen in that position. I think we get back out here again? Yeah, we get back. We get to try again. We get to have a truly sick shatter, but then we do not pin correctly after that, and we end up down here, and we end up losing the round. You knew that wasn't the right play, and, like, afterwards you were like, oh, I should not have done that. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Just go in and start swinging at the supports, or try to pin one of the supports into, like, the lantern. Instead, we end up, basically the worst possible thing could have happened afterwards, after getting a sick shatter as well, so, very sad. So we're now playing Zenyatta. We're gonna be here for a while, okay? Like, look at this timeline. We're gonna be here for a while. We go 5 rounds. Right? We go 5 rounds. Yeah, we go 5 rounds. Hey, cat. Hey.
Alright,
no, don't you dare. Okay, so we're playing Zenyatta. Very sudden hero shift right there. For the most part, like, from watching this earlier ahead of time, I don't think that we're gonna be stopping very much to talk about Zenyatta, so I feel like this is gonna go by quicker than you'd expect. I've bumped the microphone and table like 8 times right there. I apologize. It probably sounded awful. So we're sitting back. We're shooting into people. This is our man Metaskipper. We've seen Metaskipper before. He's very good at communication, calling out constantly. Like, well, not right now, but we call out a lot later when we got Discord on. Who we got Discord on, which is if you don't mind talking to people. Like, I hate talking to people. I don't talk to anybody. But if you don't mind talking to people, that's always good. So, you know. We don't do it so much here, but later on, we do it a lot. you know, I wish that, like, Discord's effect for the enemy was more obvious. Like, I wish they could see, like, this. So that or something similar, so that, cause honestly, I hate when hearing Zenyatta just be like, X is discorded, Y is discorded, Z is discorded. I'm just like, oh god, just like constantly. And I don't think most Zenyatta players really like every few seconds having to say, X is discorded, Y is discorded. I just wish it was more obvious so we didn't really have to do this, but you know, whatever. So, we're starting to make roads in. We've killed 2 people, so that's good. Efficiency-wise, Harmony Orb is currently on nobody. So, you want to have Harmony Orb on somebody 100% of the time. So, this is, like, we're going to come over here to try and bully this Hanzo. First off, that's scary. Don't do that unless you know this guy's got, like, 1 hit left, because you're fucking easy to hit as Zenyatta. Like, even Hanzo. Doesn't matter how covered in soap his hands are. Yeah, because it's Hanzo, hand soap. Yeah, it's funny because it's wordplay. So, like, you're easy to hit. And he fires entire fucking trees out of this bow. Don't come and fight a Hanzo unless you know this guy's got, like, 1 hit left. And also, put your Harmony Orb on somebody first, because you want this up 100% of the time. I mean, you want them both up 100% of the time, but that's not always realistic with Discord. Harmony Orb you can almost always have up, so that's takes precedent over coming to try and bully people. But, like, yo, easy to hit going up this narrow channel at him as well. Anyway, though, so we call out that he's over there. And now he's here. Oh god. Oh, scary. Oh, scary. Don't, like, jump around like that, because that does actually make it easier. Like, we just, like, in front of him. That actually does make it easier to hit you, because when you jump, you're locked into the arc. You can't alter your momentum. This is scary, but we get away with it, because here's D.Va. We're inside D.Va right now. If you're in a duel with somebody relatively precision-based, like Hanzo fires entire trees, as we just established, but if you're fighting against, like, a hit-scan hero, or somebody just precision-based, like Zenyatta or Hanzo, rather than jumping around constantly, it's better to just, like, go on your A and D keys, and just, like, jam out and, like, crouch, uncrouch, because that's way less predictable than jumping around, because if the person's paying attention, that's more easy. You can just track the person through the arc. If you just, like, jam out on AD and crouch, uncrouch, that's way less predictable. Now, you do have to make sure you're actually moving around, because some people do it too fast, and you're fundamentally not actually moving. You're just, like, juddering back and forth on, like, a couple of pixels. You do have to actually, like, move around a little bit, but just, like, spamming strafe and crouching and uncrouching is a better way to dodge than jumping. I'm not saying never jump, but don't do, like, what we did right there, where we're just, like, pogoing around the point constantly, because that slowly becomes more and more predictable as you do it.
Nice job.
So anyway, we got hooked by Roadhog right there. We got saved by multiple people, so no worries. YouTube's doing this, so that's cool. You know, thanks. We've almost got Transcendence built up, so that's cool also, but this is going well, you know. We don't actually have our Discord orb on this man, because we didn't actually get it on him. Fuck, shit, bye, you know. I'll trade my Genji for your Reinhardt. I'll take that any day, frankly. Lucio currently doing this. Rather than, like, it's hard to aim straight up like that. Lucio's gonna keep going around the outside of the bell. Just, like, back up and shoot him as he goes around, because it's hard to do this. It's easier to just, like, track him from, like, if you, like, step back and just, like, track him around the outside. But, like, he's fucking dead. Zenyatta's coming up, he's fucking dead. We got that, great, awesome. So we want to try and, like, go fast, because we killed a bunch of people right as we captured the point. This here really sucks that Soldier got hooked and killed right there. Again, this would never happen anymore. But, you know, that really sucks, because we killed the Roadhog, but we've also lost our Soldier. Genji's still getting back, so we just don't have a DPS here right now, basically. Which really sucks, because we would like to be able to try and snowball this. Alright, so now, I'm gonna warn you that the next few seconds of footage are gonna be pretty upsetting. What are you doing over there? I'm gonna put, like, a trigger warning right here, because what happens with this ultimate is very upsetting. Feels pretty bad, doesn't it? So yeah, we fell off, and then Reinhardt took us away, and we just couldn't get back again. And then we got hooked, and we got killed. You know... It's up there with Roadhog whole hogging and then jumping off the platform right as it happened. You know, it's up there. It's not quite, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. We got plenty of time though. You know, we got almost 6 minutes left to go still, so whatever. We're back here now. We're down here. We want to be up there, you know. We really want to be up there instead, rather than coming like down here at all. We're gonna like go up there and spam like group up because we don't want to go. We don't want to go through there. That door fucking sucks. I hate that door. Let's go up this door. This door's cool. This door also sucks, but it sucks less than that door. 2 CP maps. Hello, cat. Yes, hello. Hello. Goodbye. No, come on. You gotta get out of the way. Don't care if you want my old food. You can't have it. Alright, so, cat's here now. So, now we basically play some textbook Zenyatta for a while, where we sit way back here, and we call out who we've got Discord on, and we just shoot at people constantly. We don't have our Harmony Orb up on anybody right now, but they were all going out of our line of sight. Now we do want to have our Harmony Orb on somebody. We have our Harmony Orb on nobody. Now it's on somebody. That's great. So, now we just sit back. We didn't Discord him, even though we said we did. And now we just do this for a while. We're as far away as we can possibly be right now. He got hooked into the dragon. Feels bad, man. We sit back here and we do this for a while. We're playing Zenyatta, like, this is like peak Zenyatta, basically, where we're in a position that's very hard to get to. They aren't trying to get to us. And we're just sitting back here, Discording people, calling who we've got Discord on, and we're shooting at people, and we're having the time of our lives right now. Like, look at this. Oh my god, this is just the easiest game I've ever seen in my entire life right now. Oh, big juicy Roadhog. Oh, Discord that guy now, yeah. We've got our ultimate. That's gonna come up, because we are gonna end up going over there. We decided to go over there right now. I wouldn't do it right now, I don't think, just because I wouldn't expect Reinhardt to actually really get anything done with that. Because he only actually Earth Shatters one person. He only actually Earth Shatters Soldier, and granted Soldier's using Tac Visor right now, so keeping him alive is pretty important, I guess, but like, he's gonna die. Like, this is an unnecessary use of Transcendence, but at the same time, I know why you use Transcendence, and that's fair enough. Now we're not, it's just we were in such a sick position, I would not want to give it up unless I absolutely had to. But, you know, we've got it, we did it, great, awesome. Isn't that just the easiest game of Zenyatta you've ever seen in your entire life right there? Feels good, man, feels good, man. So now we're gonna play Reinhardt again, so we're gonna very suddenly switch gears again. So we've got way more time than them. We're feeling pretty good about this. They've only got a minute and a half. We got nearly 4 minutes. The game's pretty close, regardless, though. I lied to you, we don't go 5 rounds. We go 4 rounds, I remember now. So we let it break right there, which is, you know, generally bad form. And we also took a huge chunk of damage as a result as well, which is also generally bad form. You know, don't do that. Get out of the way sooner. So we're letting it recharge right now. They aren't coming through the doorway. Great. Full health barrier. We come out. His barrier is almost broken, so he's going to be upset about that one. We're winning this barrier war. We managed to kill their Hanzo right there as well. Far shooting in. Now we've got to let ours regenerate. Don't flick it up. Just get out of the way. Let it recharge. We're playing some Reinhardt right now. There goes their Reinhardt. We just saw him use his charge. It's as free as can be because he's in this tiny little area. We even back up and take the health kit as well. There's their Lucio. Come up here. Fix Reinhardt's hit detection. Something worse happens. So, look at this guy. Look at this guy over here. Like, we're in an awkward position now where, like, that's happening and that's happening. I would come over and deal with this guy first because you're better at killing Soldier than you are at killing Roadhog, and it looks like Soldier's putting the moves on him already, so I would prioritize the Soldier over the Roadhog. However, we do learn that Soldier did not put the moves on Roadhog. It did look like it prior, though, where he was, like, dancing around the rock and making it awkward for him. But I would have killed the soldier and then come over here. Now Soldier's over there, and he's become way harder to deal with. So right here, right? Like, come on, right? You see that shit right there? Like, fix Reinhardt. Like, look at, look, you see that? Do you see? This is why I stopped playing Reinhardt. Look at this. Absolute foolishness. Like, alright, maybe that one doesn't hit. Come on. Come on. Come on. Fix this shit. And that's not even getting into his ultimate. God damn. This is why I stopped playing Reinhardt. It feels so bad. So we kill him eventually. It took like 4 swings extra than it should have done, but we got him in the end. Fucking fix this hit collision nonsense. So Mercy just got really fucked, which feels bad for Mercy probably. Reinhardt got bumped off the edge right there, which feels bad for Reinhardt also. I would ult this guy. Because he's using his ultimate, and like... We killed most of them. He's using his ultimate, and it looks like it's gonna be an issue for us to deal with it. D.Va doesn't even block it. Like, we've killed most of them. He's using his ultimate. I'll trade my ultimate to stop his ultimate, and then kill him as well. Because, like, we'll kill him. Then they've lost both their tanks. They won't win at that point, you know. They've lost a lot of people by that point. We instead hold on to it. Maybe they'd win anyway. Maybe they wouldn't lose anyway, but I would have still ulted the Roadhog right there. I'll trade my ultimate to stop your ultimate and probably kill you afterwards. We know in hindsight this happened, so we wouldn't have killed him. But I would have ulted the Roadhog. Roadhog instead ends up killing us, and we don't get to use Earth Shatter at all. You know. I will, in most cases, I'll trade Earth Shatter for another ultimate if it looks like their ultimate is going to do some amount of damage. There are some ultimates you just Earth Shatter anyway, like Tack Visor, Dragon Blade. You just ult that fool because you don't want to risk it. That ultimate, it looks like it's going to be a problem. I would have just ulted him. So we've still got Earth Shatter. Res happened. We're coming back around now. We've still got Earth Shatter, so that's cool. He just used his Earth Shatter. We didn't get him, which really sucks, and we end up not getting anybody. I think by the time you get over there and, like, his Earth Shatter has happened, you can kind of see the way the fight's going, and I don't think I'd Earth Shatter at that point anymore, because it's starting to look a little iffy at that point anyway. So, I'd rather have it for this rather than using it right there, where it looked like we were probably not going to actually get to do anything with it, and it turned out we couldn't. So, they got 30 seconds, because it went into overtime. We basically know they're going to come through this way, because they only have 30 seconds, so there's no reason to go up there. If they do decide to go up there, you get super punished for that, but they almost never do. So we're counter-charging, and Mercy got pinned right between us as it happened, because Mercy's standing too far forward when that started. So that feels pretty bad, man. We have killed their Hanzo, but now we're also dead. And now that's happening. This is all not very good news right now. We do have D.Va out here. They can't kill D.Va quickly. We've got a bunch of stalling heroes. We're coming back out there now. They haven't even actually broken D.Va's mech yet because we got a bunch of awkward-to-kill heroes. Mercy's gonna uninstall the game pretty soon, I think. We've almost got Earth Shatter built up again. That's a very optimistic charge. I would just keep swinging at them and, like, Fire Strike rather than try to pin the guy right there, because it's gonna be pretty hard to line it up.
So we just need... We have 4 minutes
but
to get the first
we managed to stop it. So, we've got a lot to play with. We're playing Zenyatta again now, so now we're going to go through a very sudden shift. So, let me consult the email, because there was a thing in the email. It was just... more advice on playing the second wave of rounds would be appreciated. We talked about this once before, on another one of your games. I don't really have anything to add to it. I'll reiterate it, which is basically like, expect them to have cheese, 100%, like, come out assuming they will have cheese, because they almost always do. You come out, like, second wave, if you're on the second round, they're very likely to have Bastion, Symmetra, Torbjorn, maybe Widowmaker, Hanzo, because by this point people are starting to be super tilted, and they're just picking whatever the fuck. So come out expecting cheese. when you don't need to get very much, just try and go full dive comp. Like, try and get your team to commit to an actual dive comp. None of this half-hearted dive comp nonsense where it's like, Reinhardt and Winston. No, like, full dive comp, like, Winston and D.Va and Zarya, Winston and Zarya, Lucio, Zenyatta, Genji, Tracer, Pharah, like, full actual dive comp. 'Cause they probably have cheese. The cheese heroes are generally pretty weak to dive comps. Sometimes your team fucks it up and dies to the Bastion, but, like, that can happen regardless. If you don't need very much, like, as long as we get the first point, we can't lose. And then, if we've got a full dive comp, we can reposition to the second point quickly and just try to, like, smash and grab the last 33%. So, try and get your team to go for an actual dive comp, because they probably have cheese, they're probably tilted, and if you execute it well, like, you'll just snowball the victory. I don't really have that much more to say about it, really. Like, that's the best advice I can really give you is, like, try and pick a dive comp. If you're defending on the second wave, expect them to have a dive comp. The way the meta is right now is kind of like expect a dive comp regardless, honestly. But, like, if you're defending and it's the second round, like, expect a dive comp, pick Reaper. Reaper's really strong right now, in my opinion. I mean, we'll see whether he actually equates out to being really strong. But, like, I think Reaper's really strong right now, especially given the dive comps are pretty common right now. Reaper's pretty good against dive comps. You can't really pick Roadhog anymore because Roadhog won't kill these people anymore, basically. So, like, pick Reaper. Pick people that are good against dive. Try not to pick Soldier. Pick McCree if you're gonna pick Soldier, because McCree is better at fending off a dive than Soldier is. Zarya is really good against dive comps because you can try and save the person that's getting dove on. Don't pick Mercy because you're just going to get bullied by the dive comp. You know, just like, try and pick a dive comp. Be ready for them to have cheese because they probably do. Don't pick cheese when you're on defense. Just pick, like, people that are strong against dive comps, like Reaper. And Zarya. D.Va's also good against it. You know, this kind of thing. That's kind of all I have to add to it. The biggest issue that is usually happening on second wave rounds is somebody is tilted. Almost always somebody is tilted. And then that's the moment they pick Torbjorn, and then they wonder why they got killed by the dive comp, you know? Like, that's the usual issue, and there's not much you can do about that unless you have, like, a way with words or something, I guess, you know? That's kind of all I have to really say about it. So, let's start this round now. So, it doesn't go super well, as you can infer by the time limit right here.
That was
it takes us a while. We get there in the end. So, they do have a Bastion in here right now. They also have a Symmetra. We can see the orbs coming out right now. We have D.Va. We don't have Winston, so we aren't super good at killing Symmetra. I mean, not to imply D.Va's bad at it, but she's not as good as Winston, you know? So, we're just gonna be sitting back, poking in, shooting in as much as we can, heal this Mercy, yeah, you know, all this business. Try not to get hit by these balls. We've gotten hit by a bunch of balls just, like, floating through, and we're giving Sim a bunch of ult charge. So here's where we learn they have a Bastion, so we have to be very careful about that, and we want to try and get Discord on the Bastion as much as possible. Don't do that where you just cut in front of the choke point, because that's super scary. If you want to get to the other side of this choke point, like, don't cut across like that, because that's just how you get killed. Go through the shop instead. Just like, you know, don't go like that, go like that. And yeah, it takes you, like, a little bit longer to do that, but the risk of getting picked off doing that is, like, 0% as opposed to that, you know, which is, like, pretty high. So, we have gotten on the side where we can now put Discord Orb on Bastion, which, I mean, we want it on him as much as possible. He's now moving around. We've just lost our mech and our soldier, though, so we can't really go in right now. We already have Transcendence built up, which is cool and all, but... So, this is the time where Zenyatta's right-click is actually good. Because you know if you know where Bastion is, you can just charge it up around this corner, peek the corner, and just, like, shoot it right at him. you don't have enough time to do that and put Discord Orb on him, but, like, you'll chunk him pretty heavily. Then we just, like, walk right into the ball, which feels bad, man. But, like, that's, like, the situation to actually use Zenyatta's right-click, where you know where the turret is, peek the corner, shoot the turret. So, we got rezzed. I don't know if I would have done it, but we got rezzed. We're starting to come in. Our Symmetra's dead. God, excuse me. Jesus Christ. So, we've killed their Bastion, though. Great news. We just decide that we're gonna ult because we want to get in the doorway, which is fair enough. Honestly, like, that's probably what you're gonna have to do. So, that's all happening over there. We now can't use our Transcendence to counter out Zarya's ultimate, which, I mean, that sucks and all. But, and like, we're starting to lose the fight, which also kind of sucks. We're actually not doing that badly, like, we just killed 2 fools right there. But, we end up getting over here, and we kind of don't have anything to seal it out with, you know? Like, we use Transcendence to get in and get over there. But then they use their Transcendence, they use Graviton, and they just kill us. You know. I would have probably used Transcendence right there as well, to, like, get in, but then, like, a bunch of stuff happened and we didn't have Transcendence, and it's just kind of like, well, if you didn't use Transcendence, you probably wouldn't even get that far, so it's probably, like, just a lose-lose situation, honestly. So, now we're back to footsies, back at the doorway, and we're just gonna shoot into the shield for a little while. We can't get Discord on anyone, because Reinhardt's in the way. There was a change on the fucking test realm not that long ago that scared the shit out of me. That was like, Zenyatta can now put Discord Orb on people through shields. And I was like, oh god, no. Anything but that. It didn't go through, thank the Lord. Nothing scared me more. I was like, oh god, anything but that. So, thank goodness. Instead, we just get to sit here and left-click into the shield for a little while. So we've almost got Transcendence built up again, which is pretty cool. Zenyatta builds his ultimate pretty quickly, you know. So we just lost Tracer right there. She just got absolutely annihilated by Zenyatta. As did Zarya. They got rezzed again right there. Again, I don't know that I'd do it, but it does certainly pay dividends, because watch this shit.
Nice, go! Go!
We use our ultimate just to make sure, which is fair enough. So I don't know that I would have done that res. But we know that it was 100% the correct play. But now right, think about this, right? They have a Symmetra. What does that mean, right? They're coming out of that doorway right now. So nobody, like, went to deal, like, I think Tracer went to try and get the teleporter, but nobody, like, we didn't get the teleporter. So they're coming back right now. Which, feels bad considering... Yeah, so considering how sick that ult combo was. So we died as well. I would have probably used Transcendence as well. I just make sure we win the fight, but then we didn't kill the teleporter. And, like, we need a pixel on that bar right now. We get it back over here. It doesn't look like it's going that terribly, surprisingly enough. Just kick her right in the ass. No, this is Zenyatta. I thought it was Sim we were kicking. My bad. Kick him right in the ass. I've been this guy before. I've been that guy before. It feels bad, man. So we got that. We can't lose anymore. Worst we can do is draw. But we don't have anything to really snowball this victory through with. We didn't actually... And Tracer does that, which is very fucking unhelpful. We don't have anything to snowball this in with. We don't have any ultimates right now, so we're not really expecting to win this fight, I don't think. I wouldn't be, anyway. So, Tracer also didn't help right there. And then this happens. We're either reload or put the disc, just like reload, dog. You know. But, yeah. We didn't have any ultimates when we get over here. They only catch us in the Graviton, but like... We don't get rezzed either, which feels bad. Like, we didn't have any ultimates. It's very hard to snowball the first point into the second point if you don't have any ultimates to do it with, basically. And we didn't have any. So, feels bad, man. So we end up drawing. We just end up feeling like, you know, well, this has been a productive 26 minutes, you know? I know it's not as bad as losing, but whenever I draw, I'm just always like, God, it just feels like we completely wasted our time. So let's watch the play of the game. Who got it? Hanzo? No, it's Genji.
Good job, fatty.
How awkward. God, I don't feel... I feel like any other person had a more deserving ultimate to win than that one. Whatever. So, nothing, like, super huge and overarching really stood out to me. Be more careful when you charge, basically. Because that's, like, the recurring thing is our charges weren't very good, I would say. Nothing else that, like, super stood out as a recurring thing. Like, I think we played Zenyatta about as well as you could play Zenyatta, honestly. I mean, we got to sit, like, first attack, we just got to, like, sit back and do nothing for, like, 2 entire minutes. It felt good, man. Yeah, like, there's nothing, be more careful when you charge, basically. Here's, as a Reinhardt main, here's some advice, right? Look, play another tank. It feels so bad, man. It feels so bad. Just play D.Va. just play D.Va. D.Va's like, she's not Reinhardt, I know, but like she is also okay at main tanking, and like it doesn't feel as bad as Reinhardt. Reinhardt's so wonky right now. Like, his hit collision's fucked. The way the meta is right now is, like, mostly dive comps coming at you. Reinhardt's not very good at dealing with a dive comp. He's not the worst, but he doesn't want it to be happening to him, you know? And that on top of, like, his ult got changed to, like, not be... It doesn't work as well. Like, it got nerfed, but it got, like... It kind of deserved it with, like, a collision thing, but, like, his hit detection on his left click and ultimate suddenly got significantly worse, as we saw a couple times during this game. His ult is also like, they nerfed it a bit, but like the hit collision thing with his left click is also like affecting his ultimate, where it's just now like way inconsistent. Just play D.Va instead. Like, D.Va's better at fighting a dive comp. It doesn't feel as bad as playing Reinhardt, and she can still fill the main tank role. Reinhardt feels real bad right now. It feels real bad right now. Or play Zarya instead. If you, like, don't play, like, Winston instead, because, like, that's, like, not at all a substitute, but, like, if you're gonna be main tanking, just consider picking D.Va instead. Reinhardt feels so bad right now. This, coming from somebody who played, like, almost nothing but Reinhardt last season. Started playing Reinhardt this season, and I was like, yo, this has suddenly gotten real hard and feels real bad. Maybe I'll just learn how to play D.Va instead. I'm bad at D.Va as well. You don't know what you got till it's gone. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.